Welcome to this multi-day RPanda trading game video. My name is Phil Cote. The purpose of the video today is now that you've been playing the game for a little over a week, we want to focus on the XP. So what we did first before the game started is how to actually put trades in, deal entry. At this point in time, we want to spend a little bit more time reinforcing and refreshing the knowledge in the risk tab. So why is the risk tab so important? Before we dwell into details here, first one would be to verify that your trades are indeed correct. So do you have the right exposure? So if you've made errors in the entry, this is where you would actually see and be able to confirm those errors. Second, which is very important, is understanding your profit and loss, your P&L. So we covered the whole process for trading. Once you put a position on, you also want to ensure as markets starts moving and you generate profits or loss, then the gains or losses accrued are relevant and relate directly to your market call. It also gives a little bit of information on your risk appetite, whether it's too little or too low. So let's head to the risk tab and explore. The first part of the risk tab at the top left will show you the profit and loss as of the last end of day as it is run. You can see on the right hand side, which is our admin dashboard, the various teams. In this case, I've logged into the team playing RBOB futures for gasoline, simply because they have more volatility in P&L and profit and loss since the game started. So the first tab gives all the transactions that occurred, and if you expand the window, you can see all the information, including the P&L for each of those trades and end positions as of the last end of day, which was on the 5th, Friday the 5th of November. Now the expectation on this tab is that you're able to download those trades to Excel or CSV, and then from there confirm what your exposure is. So that'd be fairly important. One point to note is the quantity of contract is always shown in the units that the futures contracts of the underlying. So for example here, CL for crude will be in barrels, whereas refined products will be in gallons. So one thing you'll need to do is to transform your exposure into a common unit. So generally we'll use barrels for that, to convert refined products into barrels. The second tab provides a pivot table, either of the positions that you have overall. So this would be effectively a rendering within the software of what you are expected to do, both for exposure as well as for P&L in an Excel table. Now, if I look at the exposure over here, what I'd mentioned before, were the units, the contract. So in this view over here, I show the same team on the same day converted to a common unit in barrels. Now, what is important when you think about linking the profit and loss to the positions or strategies that you had is to be able to decompose what the positions are. So in this specific case, looking at the RBOB team, I might think that they are short a crack spread for the month of December between RBOB contract and WTI to the tune of 2 million barrels. And another strategy, they are long 1 million barrels of flat price for RBOB for the January contract. That would be one alternative to look at the position. Another alternative would be to look at it as being short a flat spread, so minus 1 million plus 1 million. So not a crack spread, but a time spread, my apologies. And also have a short crack spread for 1 million barrels versus crude WTI for December. And the resulting position would be long crude. So effectively short time spread RBOB, short 1 million crack spread of RBOB, and long 1 million. So whichever way you look, or the team as they decide to look at their positions, the total profit and loss will match. But it's important to understand where the dollars are arise, such that this team can then refine whether they had the right positions or the right way to monetize their market call, or P&L arise from other factors. For example, if their primary position was on a crack spread or time spread, and we noticed that half of the $1 million loss pertains to flat price, perhaps then the rationale would be to actually remove the flat price position and increase size on the other, but it all depends on that team's specific objectives. The last thing to discuss on this one is the risk limit tab. So the game runs with two limits, so one net limit of 1 million barrels and also a limit of 1 million barrels on spread. So looking at the utilization is an important aspect. Now in this case, there is a breach in one case, but there's no issues. It's a game that we actually run. But in real life, it might be not as casual and of an issue as it is in this game. So thank you very much for this video.